Who wants to talk some wrestling today? So I'm gonna say 40. My name is Seth, and as my shirt says, heels wear pink. And here is my 8 cents. So recently, the wrestling world has been bombarded with a lot of, we'll call it interesting news. ROH's pay-per-view Death Before Dishonor, which my wife and I have yet to watch. We're going to be watching. Reports of Jonathan Gresham wanting his ROH/AEW release. Interesting story there is. And many others. But the biggest story of all, ladies and gentlemen, folks, hell's frozen over. I know that's the common term that's been used in this situation, but it feels like hell is frozen over. A few days ago, it was reported that, bear with me, I'm thirsty. Good shit. It was reported that the man, VKM, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, at 76 years old, has retired from World Wrestling Entertainment. Damn. I never thought I would live to see the day that happened. I thought 50 Cent would have another hit. I thought NSYNC would get back together. I thought OJ would stop doing stupid shit. Sorry. But Vince McMahon retires from WWE. Now, I know what a lot of people are saying, the issues with, Vince's indiscretions. And while I have heard and I've done some reading, I've watched some videos, I really don't want to touch on that. Look, it is no denying that Vince McMahon, to say that he did a lot for the wrestling business would be a bit of an understatement. He is the wrestling business in some ways, in a lot of ways. Pardon me, my ad. This man created WrestleMania. This man killed the territories. This man created Survivor Series. He helped make Hulk Hogan a household name. He gave us the Ultimate Warrior. He gave us so much. Fuck, he gave us The Undertaker. Enough said. And for a time, creatively, he was unparalleled and unrivaled. Listen, the man bought WCW and ECW in 1 year. Essentially. I am not a pro Vince McMahon person for particular matters. The Owen Hart situation, the Montreal Screwjob, his inability to change with the times, and the stuff he did with some women. Now, I've watched some videos, and particular videos talked about how if there was an agreement where the female, for lack of a better term, provided a service, that she would get pushed. And if she stopped, then she was no longer pushed. He's right. These two people were two consenting adults. If that is the case. It's a practice that does happen from times. I've seen it happen myself. But that does not negate the memories that Vince McMahon has given us as kids, myself included. For example, I was born in 1987. All right. So between the ages of 4 and 5, on my TV was WWF. I saw stars like Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, Jake the Snake Roberts, the Big Boss Man, Sergeant Slaughter. I have a hockey game with all of those people where 12 people can play as a character to hit a fucking hockey puck. My father bought that for me at a surplus store. I still have it. I digress. A lot of people have noted that the talent is excited going forward. It's going to be an interesting shift. It's not going to be a overnight change. A lot of people go, oh, it's going to be it's not. Changes, the type of change that's overnight is the negative change that actually hurts instead of helps. This is going to be a gradual thing where at first you're not going to notice it, but you're going to feel it. That's my opinion. Again, I don't give two shits about the man's personal life. Doesn't mean I agree with it either. I feel using your power to take advantage of someone to get something out of them, or vice versa, it's not the way to go about things. So, but everyone is touching on that. Well, not everyone, I should say. The people I've heard so far are touching on that, and I want to take it, to a different route. I want to talk about how Vince McMahon helped my memories. He, for instance, let's see, a favorite WWF moment for me when Vince fired Austin at a pay-per-view, and he came up with McMahon 316. I've got the brass to fire your ass. Vince was a very entertaining heel, right? Vince's energy when it comes to being a heel, it's up there, man. The greatest heel of all time. Sorry, Flair, but he is. I'm going to feel weird watching WWE going forward. I don't really watch a full show of WWE. We normally watch Impact. We don't even watch a full show of AEW. We stopped. My wife begged me to stop. She said, no more AEW. No more Dynamite. I'm like, all right, cool. So it's just Impact in our house. But for Vince to just step away, I felt he had more to give, honestly. In some way, shape, or form, he would have found a way to contribute, like on TV somehow. Whether it was him doing a program with Theory, or whether it was him, finding a up and coming baby face to fuck with, or being the voice to overturn a decision for one night. Something. I'm just, if it sounds like I'm going on and kind of at a tangent, it's because I'm still in shock about that. I'll put it to you this way. Vince buying WCW was shocking. But this here is tip the fucking scale shocking. I never saw this coming. Never. Because the consensus was Vince ain't going nowhere. He works out like crazy. He's a workaholic. This, that, and the third. All right. We go from that to Friday. Breaking news. Vince retires. Damn. Crazy. wonder what will happen going forward. I feel that with all the positive criticism that I've just given Vince, I do feel that he is warranted negative ones too creatively. For the longest time, there have been talks of Vince being out of touch. There have been talks of him not connecting like he should. Max Dupree, is one of those names that recently came up. And I love Max Dupree and the Maxwell male models. Anything that Max Dupree or Eli Drake or LA Knight has ever done, I have been a fan because he's that damn good. And if you don't believe me, if you don't know, watch his shit. You'll see. His promos are spot on. His work is spot on. This man is a future world champion. And WWE, if you don't make him your future world champion someday, then you fucked up. You fucked up. All right? But I feel that the company with a modern vision and not the good old boys thing that WCW was plagued with, this may be a good step in the right direction for them. This may be, and I hate to say this, the tide that changes everything. This could be the shot in the arm that World Wrestling Entertainment needs to once again put itself at the top of the mountain. The era of complacency is over. Because let's be honest, folks, WWE for the longest time has been zombied. Think about it. You have people like Goldberg. Sorry. Sometimes I can't pronounce my G's. Did I really say Oldberg? My wife was dying over. She's like, he said Oldberg. Look. Now, people like Goldberg, sorry. Why do I keep saying Oldberg? People like Goldberg. And other part-time stars.
Geriatric, and then you'll get it.
Geriatric Berg.
No, geriatric for G, and then you add the G.
There you go.
Goldberg and get Goldberg.
Yes. Because the next time he comes out with his pyro, it's going to be Goldberg in dressing room, security. Hey, Bill. He comes out with his walker. He stands there with his walker. It's not pyrotechnics anymore. It's powers of Metamucil. And he can't do his, because, he's got to replace hips. And, you prop him up. He tries to spear. He falls over. Liability. Anyway, these part-timing stars, and by the way, I love Goldberg. It's just jokes. But these part-time stars take opportunity away from the people who want to be there, the hard-working people who day in and day out bust their asses. They're at the performance center. They're trying to be better than they were the day before. All of that. Okay? WWE has been compromised, zombied, shackled, stifled, creatively, in other ways too. Now with Stephanie and Nick Khan at the helm, this may be WWE's chance to get into rehab. Brock Lesnar reportedly almost walked out because he's a big proponent for Vince McMahon, clearly, because he may or may not be the only talent who directly deals with Vince. I can see that. They even had Goldberg on standby in case Brock said, fuck you guys, and walked out. Go figure. If that's not an old man's regime, I don't know what is. For WWE to be what it was meant to be, will all of us wrestling fans know it to be, there has to be a clear-cut direction of where we are today and where we are going. And I'm saying we as if I worked for the company. That would be my first thought. where we are, where we're going, where we want to go, and where we need to go. There has to be plans. You look at, for instance, Lacey Evans. I am a big fan of Lacey Evans, the person and the character. She went from being a sassy Southern belle as a heel, which was a perfect role for her, right? A perfect role. Then they make her a face. They do the spot with Sasha and her daughter being in the front row and Sasha antagonizing her daughter, Summer. And Lacey, as her mother, fights back, beats her ass, right? Could have built that, right? Could have given Lacey the championship over Bayley. It would not have hurt Bayley. And I like Bayley too, but it would not hurt Bayley to lose to Lacey. In fact, you could have given Lacey a 2-month run and then have her lose the belt back to Bayley somehow. It wouldn't hurt either party. Because I don't feel it's not the wins or loss that help or hurt the character. It's the manner in which it's done. Now we have Lacey, after that first faux pas fuck up from face to heel, or heel to face, back to heel, hanging around Ric Flair, which was pointless. She comes back and she's the Marine who brought up her childhood, and it's more of an emphasis on her Marine days. She's got the red, white, and blue tassels and the camouflage pants. And one minute she's a face, and now she's a heel who just talks shit to the crowd and doesn't fight. I think that with Vince gone, Lacey can finally get some focus, because Lacey should have won Money in the Bank somehow. If not that, she should have been the next person in line to face Liv Morgan. I say this. Let Liv go over Ronda at SummerSlam, and Lacey and Liv have a program. You got to think new and fresh. With Vince gone, you can do that. Look at the people who was under Vince's umbrella. Bruce Pritchard, Kevin Dunn, Joe Briscoe, and Cal Summers. They're not modern people. They're not. So if you have a modern vision, but you have people who aren't modern working over you, or working with you rather, nothing gets done, because they don't give a shit about the modern times. Oh, this is tried and true. I know it works. But does it work? It doesn't. Vince leaving is a good thing, and it's also a bad thing. The good thing is WWE has a chance to revitalize itself. The bad thing is now we remember his time in memories, what he's given us. Whether you like the man or not, you can't deny what he has given us. The memories that he has given us will last forever. It will last a lifetime. And I know I've been hard on WWE in recent memory. I know I've been hard on Vince McMahon in recent memory. But I would like to say, from the bottom of my heart, coming from the young kid who lived by the bridge and watched WWF superstars and Shotgun Saturday night when I couldn't afford cable to watch Monday Night Raw or even a pay-per-view, thank you, Vince. Thank you for everything. Till next time.